We're recording, but leave your cams on. Unless you're shy, that's okay too.
I'm shy.
Oh, you're anything but Sean Parker.
I just put my hand there. That's better, isn't it?
Yeah. Suits.
Not at all.
Right, guys. Look, we're gonna delve right in today. Today we're gonna do something a little bit different. Today our very own Linda Wheatley is going to be presenting. She's got an amazing interactive presentation that she's going to do for us, all on values. Now, most of you, I believe, know Linda, but for those who don't, she's been with us for quite a while now. She's one of our joint venture partners. But in addition to that, she's a life and executive coach practitioner as well. And she's got her own coaching business called Be True to You Coaching. So I would encourage you to go ahead and check out her Facebook as well. I'm sure she'll have amazing information to share with us. And I think she's got some materials to share as well, don't you, Linda? Yeah.
I do indeed. I'll go through all of that. Absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, look, we're going to turn it over to you, Linda. You work away and you just tell me if you need anything.
1,000,000%. Don't you go anywhere. I'll be needing you.
I'll be here. I'll just be hovering in the background.
Fantastic. That's great. Thank you for that lovely introduction. That's great, Patrick. And welcome to everybody to the group, to New Tool Tuesday. So as Patrick says, it's going to be a little bit different. As well as being a life and executive coach practitioner, I've actually started a new job as a knowledge tutor, just part-time, because I've had 32 years of working in the health and social care sector. And I had this lovely brainwave and this lovely idea that I would like to do some teaching. So that's what I'm doing online. And obviously the interactive workshops that we do. So I thought I would combine a webinar with a bit of an interactive workshop. And those of you that know me, I don't really sit and talk at people. I love the interactions. I love hearing, people's thoughts and ideas. We've all got a lot of skills and knowledge. So I thought I would combine the two and just do that for the presentation tonight. I know that Patrick's kind of mentioned about having this recorded, so that's great. If you're all okay for it to be recorded, it's really just going to be used for Patrick to put on the page, and also I might just put it on my coaching page. Just as a little taster for anybody. So if you feel uncomfortable with that, it's okay to leave the cameras off and be on mute. That's absolutely fine. But hopefully you'll join in because we'd really love to hear what you have to say. So let's crack on a little bit then. So as I've said, it's not really going to be me doing most of the talk, and we're going to be doing some interactions together. So I thought it might be nice just to spend a few minutes, because I know normally at the webinars we don't really get a chance to say hello, say who we are and where we're from. So I thought it'd be quite nice just to go through everybody and just maybe if you could introduce yourself, which part of the country you're from, and seeing as we're just in a new year or just slightly off from it, and I know Patrick did an amazing goal setting session a couple of weeks ago, so I know you'll probably have all got your goals and your New Year's resolutions. I thought it might be fun to share those with each other in the group. So just for a minute or two, it doesn't need to be anything lengthy. I'll start off, and what I'll do is I'm just going to work through the group, just through everybody that I can see on video, so we all get a shot. Okay, so as you know, I'm Linda Wheatley. I'm actually in Dumfries in Scotland. It's actually been sunny and dry today, which has been amazing. And actually, would you believe it or not, I don't have any New Year's resolutions. My resolution is not to make a New Year's resolution. I guess being a coach and being the kind of person I am, I'm continually goal setting on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. I kind of hate New Year's resolutions in a way. Because it's the same old thing. Everybody comes after Christmas, I feel fat, I'm not getting out, don't eat chocolate, and on it goes. And I think very few people kind of work through those, so it's good to be goal setting more routinely. But however, that's me, that's my non-New Year's resolution, so we shall crack on with everybody else. Sean Parker, my good friend, you're next.
Right, my name's Sean Parker, and I've known Linda for a little while now. We don't really get on either, but yeah, we do. She's brilliant. Anyway, I'm lucky. I live in God's country. I live in Cornwall in the southwest of the UK. So it's absolutely beautiful down here. And my New Year's resolutions are mainly to do with my health. I want to lose another stone on top of what I lost last year. I lost just short of 4 stone last year. I also want to relaunch my coaching practice and also take up OneSource personal development on a part-time stroke semi-full-time basis by the end of this year. So I have set myself a series of tasks, 35 tasks to do over the year to actually bring that in. And I need to speak to Patrick a bit more about that later. Apart from that, I think all of the others are personal goals, but I will keep them to myself at the moment. Thank you.
Please do. That sounds delightful.
Yeah,
Thanks for
you don't want to know what some of them are, but yeah.
thanks for sharing those though, Sean. That's
No
brilliant.
problem.
Thank you so much. Right, Patrick, you're next.
Absolutely. Well, I think most of you know me by now, but my name is Patrick. I'm actually from the States, but I've been living the last 23 years, 22, almost 23 years in Ireland. Resolutions. My main New Year's resolution this year is to do my best to live each day as a happy, well-balanced, strong, independent man. That's primarily my #1 goal that I'm going for this year. So I'll leave it at that.
Fantastic. That's a great goal. Thank you for sharing that, Patrick. That's brilliant. My good friend Steve Brooks, you're next.
Thank you, Linda. Hi, everyone. My name's Steve Brooks, and I live in the sunny Midlands of England in the UK, in Leicester, city of Leicester. And I've known Linda seems like for a long time, but wonderful knowing and connecting with you, Linda. And like yourself, I didn't specifically set any New Year's resolutions. What I did was set 90-day goals from January to the end of March across my 4 key areas of health, personal growth, finance, and relationships, and chunk those down into specific activities that will help me to achieve them. I've never done that before, so I'll see how it gets on. I'm confident it will help me, like my other activities in OneSource. And yes, I have improved across my 4 key areas and the balance and focus in my life since joining OneSource. And I'm also growing my own NLP business as well as working and helping OneSource clients. And I'm very happy to be here and excited to learn more about my values.
Oh, thank you. That's brilliant, Steve. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. And now we've got Lily Juna. Hi, Lily. I don't think we've met. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Linda. Yeah, I now originally come from China. Now I live in UK. My husband actually come from Scotland. Have a big family there. It's quite close. They are very close. It's very good. Yeah. I've been on this journey, like a personal growth journey. I think 2014. Before I there, but not knowing, but constantly now. I mean, these few years I really into it. Like this, you today talk about value. I've been thinking this few days, like want to everything I do connected to it. I try to do that. Yeah, I do the New Year resolution. I would think would be like every day I writing down. I want to very conscious living, breathing, posture, speaking. That's really my New Year. Like if I like always conscious, that would be so joyful. I want well pleasant, well-being, loving, be like that. I also have 3 months. I want to setting up Qigong. I'm teaching Qigong. Like I feel Qigong really helping people up, holding people up, but more aware. The personal growth, I want to be with it together. So use words, words and the movement join together. So I feel very helping each other, really whatever we do, like in this 4 area Patrick said, I think it's interconnected, isn't that? Every area, we make like improvement, the rest we put up. I feel like that way. I'm really grateful for finding this system. Yeah.
Good. That is lovely. And I totally resonate with that, Lily, too. Everything's interconnected. It's all about health and well-being. And so far, everything that everybody's doing, the people that we spoke to already in the group, that's amazing. That's a lot of expertise and a lot of skills and a lot of knowledge. That's brilliant. Lovely to meet you, Lily. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks. We've got Lucy next. Lucy, Lucy
Right.
without the glasses.
Contact lenses, still blind. Don't worry, hon. You're in the same club. Well, I don't do New Year's Eve resolutions. I genuinely do not believe this is any significant date because you mature to the point you want to change whatever that date happened over the year. However, it happened end of the last year. I quit my corporate job, and this year I've got two options: or go back to the corporate jobs or establish myself as a corporate coach. So I do work very hardly now to take up on the leap and establish myself as a coach, fully independent. So I'm exploring that route. It is scary and exciting at the same time, but I believe I'm kind of now ready without New Year's resolution. It's just kind of being carried over.
Absolutely. That sounds like a fantastic goal, Lucy, and good for you going for it. Totally resonate with where you're at. It's exactly where I've been, left a corporate role recently, and it's great that you're just going for it. So best of luck with that, and hopefully we'll be able to keep in touch and we'll hear how things are going.
That would be brilliant. I really would
Fantastic.
appreciate advice.
Perfect, fantastic. Catherine's next. Thanks for that, Lucy. Catherine.
Hi, hello. Yes, my name is Catherine. I live in Bristol, in the UK. I'm pretty much the same as everyone else who's spoken so far. I'm not much of a resolution maker. I mean, I'm pretty sure by statistics, someone said, probably you, Patrick, that people tend to stop around about January the 18th or January the 19th, making any resolution, and it fails.
Today.
It was that you, Patrick?
Yeah, no, it's the 17th, I think it is, yeah.
The 17th, is it? I was
We
close
passed the
enough.
date.
Do we all
Almost.
stop yesterday?
Almost. Yeah, we did.
Almost.
Actually, it's 18th.
Ah,
There you go. It
I'll
is.
take that. That's good. I got something right. This is good. This is going really well. Right. So my New Year's, not non-New Year's resolutions are pretty much to get back, or say get into shape, making better life choices when it comes to decision making, or not, or going to, depending what. There's a lot of things I've got going on, but the main one that I really do need to focus on, and something that has been quite close to causing me issues over the years, is becoming more authentically me. I'm very much a mimicker. I'm fantastic at copying and mimicking people, not on purpose. It just kind of happens, which is why I can't be around anybody with an accent for too long.
It's mine. That's a challenge for you.
Oh, no. So yeah, it's I suppose my main goal is to actually re-establish who I am. Many years of being someone that I thought everyone else wanted me to be, or just putting on an act continuously, pretty much for as long as I can remember. So this year is the year when I finally figure out who I am, and I'm going to make things happen, those things that I couldn't make happen because I still hadn't established who I am. So that's me.
Really powerful stuff, Catherine. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's brilliant. Angie's next.
Yeah, I'm Angie, and I'm from a little town called Beedale in North Yorkshire originally, but I moved up to Newcastle upon Tyne in England about 20 years ago now, so my accent's a little bit of Geordie now, so it's all changed. I think I want to say exactly what Sean said. I think Sean has pinched my New Year's resolutions. So I've fairly recently found one source and really kind of want to pursue it, and hopefully by maybe this time next year be in a good position to decide whether at the very least this is going to be a part-time career, but ideally a full-time, because I would love for that to happen. I know Sean mentioned about health goals as well, so I think probably my biggest one is drinking more water, and I've got a pot right here It's my water bottle, but it's
Very
empty.
bless
I
you.
knew that.
It's
Oh.
empty, so that means that I
Really?
drank it. It's gone, so I must be sticking to it. So I've got past, what did you say, Patrick? The 17th. I've passed the 17th.
Oh,
Lovely. Well done.
somebody's getting a point today. Somebody's getting a star on the dashboard. Yay. So they are. That's brilliant. Thank you so much, Angie. That's fantastic. Nicolene, you're next. Welcome.
Hello, thank you, Linda. Well, I only joined OneSource, I think, about 2 months ago, and I'm very lucky to be with Linda. I'm from the Netherlands originally and moved 10 years ago to the UK. I'm in Poole in Dorset. And I have recently launched my interior design business, which has been a passion for, I don't know how long, I guess since I was very little. I've done renovations here for our own homes here in the UK, and I decided to start my own business. I've got 3 little boys as well. Yeah, I'm also extremely interested in personal development. So I've been always been very intrigued by it, but very committed for the last few years. And I'm listening to Audible every day, and I just love I was saying to Patrick how much I love the credit I get every month to pick a new book. And yeah, it's been an amazing journey with OneSource, and I genuinely feel more balanced. I actually love the time at the end of the year to reflect on the past year and set goals for the new year. I do like making a vision board. When I made one for the first time last year, I could see now that most of these goals have actually come true. So for me, it's a very, very powerful tool. Yeah, so yeah, my goal is obviously to grow my design business, and yeah, to have a steady income and be more independent, because my husband always provides for us, but now I'm starting to get my own clients, and yeah, it's been really good. But also at the same time, because now I'm talking to everyone about the personal development side, and everyone is telling me I should also become a coach. So now I don't know what to do. But in the future, I'm sure in the future I will do something like that as well. But I'm enjoying just being a student at the moment. So yeah.
Fantastic, Nicolene. That's loads going on there for you, absolutely. But that's some great goal setting, great stuff. Thanks so much for being here tonight. That's brilliant to see you. And last but not least, we've got Nadine. We've not met either. Nadine, welcome. Nice to meet you.
Hello, everybody. I'm new to OneSource, so I started just before Christmas and signed up just before Christmas. So really enjoying it, enjoying the balance that it brings. Yeah, no, really good. So I am from the edge of London, beginning of Surrey, London, Surrey area. And my New Year's resolutions, which I do have, because I really enjoy at the end of the year just sort of reflecting and then looking forward. I kind of find there's a bit of time there just to sit and take stock rather than running around after my 2 kids and my job, etc. So I'm going to repeat what most of you have said, I think. So I need to be on a health kick, so healthy eating, doing more exercising, and then I really want to live intentionally. Is kind of my big thing, not just drift. I'm in a corporate job, like most of you, or a couple of you have said, and I want to kind of start pushing that to the side. So one of my other goals are really to establish myself as a coach for myself, and really embed myself into OneSource, and hopefully get work there as well. So that's me.
Fantastic. Oh, that's brilliant. That's lovely to hear. What great goals everybody has, and thanks for joining us too. It's nice to meet you, Nadine. I'm sure we can all keep in touch after this. It'll be absolutely great. I'll certainly be sending my details out with the email with Patrick, so that would be great. So fantastic, but great goals there and great ideas, with regards to New Year's resolutions, but it'll be interesting to see how that's going to fit in with your values in a wee while. So because it's a little bit different, I just thought I would go through maybe things to be mindful of, because normally, you know, it's a webinar and its cameras are off and mics are off. So because we're going to be talking and there's quite a few of us, I thought it'd be good just to kind of go through a little bit of the expectations. So as you know, it's for us all to take part as much as possible. If we can have fun during this presentation, that would be brilliant. It's always good just to put in there about being mindful of your background and phones and things like that, just for security and just for your own dignity and for confidentiality. But I can see that everybody's absolutely fine. There's no issues with where people are at. And Sean, I can see that you've managed to use that wonderful Zoom function where you make it all fuzzy. So that's cool.
I don't know how to turn it off. That's why it's still on. I went from the One Source logo to this, and I'm stuck with it.
Oh, that's better. That's much better. That's great. And of course, the thing there is just to be mindful of each other and value our opinions. It's really quite evident we've got a lot of skills, a lot of knowledge here today, and it's really good to be able to share with each other, you know, all of our thoughts and all of our opinions. There is some Zoom functions, but really I think the only one you need to be aware of, I'm going to go through annotate in a moment when we go to on the whiteboard, but at the moment I think all the one that you really need to know is how to mute and unmute, which I can see that you're aware of that. Putting your video camera off, you know, if you feel you didn't want to be part of anything, or if you feel you needed to go away, that's fine if your camera's off. And there is some emojis as well. You know, there is the round circle with the wee cross. So if you wanted to put thumbs up and hands up and all of those kind of things, thanks very much. Sean's raised his hand. How wonderful. There you go. By my assistant, that's just been wonderfully, Sean. You're my assistant now, Sean. But really, because we're kind of all talking, you know, okay, just to unmute and we'll kind of talk as we're going along, just as a conversation would be. I want it to be as natural as possible, if it can be. So hopefully that's okay. It's only going to be a brief introduction to values, and given the knowledge and the skills and the backgrounds that you've got, you're all going to be aware of values and what they are, I would imagine. So this is just a chance, a really basic start, just to pull them together. So what we're going to look at is what values are, where they come from. I want to encourage you to consider your own values and how they link in with your everyday life, and of course the One Source personal development system. And at the end, we're going to have a little bit of an opportunity to create your own vision and add to your own personal development plan. So hopefully that sounds okay. If people have got questions as they're going along, please just pipe up and just let me know. I can't see everybody on camera all at once. So Patrick or Sean, if you see somebody trying to speak and I'm not noticing, you can let me know. Now this is going to be a really fun bit, says she. Okay, so this is where we're all going to have a little go at writing on the slide. You can do it on a whiteboard, but I've chose to do it on a slide. So this is just something fancy I've learned through my new role as a knowledge tutor. So I want to talk about what are values, and so I want you to kind of let me know what you think values are, but you can shout them out and I can write, but I would really like you to be able to write on the whiteboard, and I want you to learn something different today on Zoom to take forward. So you go on, I don't know if anybody has annotated before. I know, Catherine, you've had to go, Patrick and Sean. Are people familiar with the annotate? Shake heads, nod heads, yes, no? No, okay, brilliant. That's great. We're going to teach you something new then. So basically go to the view options, and Patrick, I maybe will ask you to explain if you don't mind, because I think your view is a little bit different to mine.
Yeah, no problem at all. Happy to, Linda.
Thank you.
What I tell you what, if you just go up, it should be at the top of the screen. It may be at the bottom. I think everybody's view may be a little bit different. But if you just go up to the top of the screen, you'll see where it says you are viewing Linda Wheatley's screen. It should say it in green, I believe. Then right next to it, you're going to see view options with a drop-down menu. And if you hit the little arrow for the view options, and you scroll down, it should be the fourth one that says annotate, and click on that, and then you'll get a little window that'll pop up that'll say mouse, text, draw. You'll have a little pencil. If you just click on the text, then when you go on the screen, you should get a little box, and you could write whatever you like. There you go. Somebody's already doing it.
That's me, just to show you. There you
There we
go.
go.
Let me just report as the mine is inactive, so I wouldn't be able to participate that way.
Oh, that is such a shame. Well, do you know what? That's fine. What you could maybe do is just shout out, and anybody who's got the pencil handy could write it on for us. How would that sound?
Yeah, if anyone wants to participate that way, but yeah, mine is genuinely, yeah, inactive.
Yeah,
Sorry
you're
about
okay.
that. That's a shame. Well, you can still shout out. And what I'm going to do is, this is absolutely wonderful. You're giving us little hellos, but the slide is actually asking now, people, what are values? Now. I'll get my teacher's head on. So what do we think? That's great that you've had a go. I'm only joking. That's brilliant. Thanks for doing that. So what we could do is write what are rules, what are values? Sorry, I've put rules in there just as a wee, just to put something in. So what do we think values are? For yourself, Lucy, you can maybe shout out and we'll write it in if you're not able to write. What do
I'm
you
just
think?
trying to find the, is there a chat option?
No, it's not in the chat. No.
Teams, isn't it? Fair
It's
enough.
it's options, as Patrick said. So it's view options, and then it's about the fourth one down. It says annotate. ANNOTATE.
No, that's, hang on. I exit the screen. Hey! Change the screen settings. Now I can write.
Yeah, very
Go
good.
for
Very
it. How
good.
cool. You can actually write using the pencil, but you write like a 2-year-old. It's not good. So that's why we kind of say the text.
Let's just go for the text then, yeah? And just
Brilliant. Go for the text. Yeah. So fantastic, Angie. The compass that guides you. I like that. I like that one. Very good. Yeah.
Very good indeed.
Who else has got anything to add? There'll be loads. No right, there's no wrongs.
Yeah. Steve just put a scribble. There we go.
It's a good scribble.
didn't work.
That's a lovely scribble, but I'm sorry, we need to just do that. It doesn't look very good on the slide. Lucy, look at that. That was worth the wait. Integrity. Wow, I absolutely love that word. Nadine, living intentionally. Oh, we'll put that up there. Who have we got here with this one? Things in your life that make your life worthwhile. I'm sorry, I'm not able to see who wrote that. Who's put that one in?
Why do we write in the little boxes that floating around? It's really bizarre.
Sorry, Linda, that was me.
That's fantastic. That's a good one. I'm floating the boxes about because there's a bit here that I can move things about to make them look tidy. So if people write on top of each other, see, I'm able just to make it look nice.
Ah, so you edit.
That's the power I have, you see. Absolutely. Brilliant.
Nice.
Colleen, thank you. The roots underlying your thoughts. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. Anything else?
Sorry, I cannot write, so I speak a little bit, okay?
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you, Lily. Sorry that you can't write. You speak. Come on, what is it you want to put in?
Oh, you just see what a value for me is energy, time, energy, where I use this.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Very good, Jess.
So with it, so with it.
Perfect. Perfect. These are great. Any more? I'm sure there'll be loads more, but we're just going to bear in mind the time that we have, and it's a whistle stop tour. Living intentionally, yeah, brilliant too. Absolutely. They're fantastic. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to save those now. That's fantastic. So you can finish writing now.
What is the F standing for?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. What somebody started writing there.
Nadine, is it clean?
Curse you out, Linda.
Sorry, Nadine, did I cut you short? Was there something there that you wanted to write? You're on mute.
I think it was a mistake.
You think it was maybe a mistake for Nadine?
Maybe,
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. You're on mute, Nadine, so I'm not sure what it is you're saying. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll maybe
Sorry, I couldn't get off mute. Yes, it was a mistake.
No worries, that's fine. What we'll do is then we'll just save that and then we'll clear that board. So we will, and then we can just, that's fantastic. So it's all gone now. There's no rights and there's no wrongs for these, and you're all absolutely right. What great answers that you gave there. Basically, they are the personal rules by which we choose to live. They influence our emotions and our behaviors. They control our way of life. They help us find and maintain our own identity. They give us direction and motivation to do the things we do. Values are based around our belief system, and they decide whether we set our goals or not. And if we do, what we are looking to achieve. Okay. So thinking about our core values, how are they different or aligned to values? What do you think about when you think about your core values? Again, you can shout out, or if you really want, you can annotate back on this slide. For those of you that just remembered how to do it, or we can just shout out. What's your thoughts on core values?
Belief set.
I speak, eh?
Yeah.
For
Very
me,
good.
actually family. Really, I thought it's like career, but I feel like if I heard my daughter, for example, speak like ignorant, when she speak, I didn't pay enough attention. I hurting her, hurting me more. So I know it's family. If I can treat my family like my parents in China, I feel so nice, so good inside.
And that's really wonderful, and that's exactly what kind of values are all about. It's about what makes you feel good, what feels right for you. Absolutely. So that is the best place to come from, Lily, I would say. And seeing the way that you're smiling when you're talking about that, that can only be a really good thing and the right thing for you. That's a brilliant one. And family has a lot to do with core values. Does anybody else anything to add?
One
About-
word springs to mind: empathy.
Empathy.
I literally live with this word.
Yeah.
Empathy.
That's a really
Empathy. It's a core value of mine to be empathetic with others. Because
brilliant.
their experiences, you know, it might be similar to mine, but it's an individual experience nevertheless. So
Absolutely. That is a brilliant one. And we've got a slide that I'm going to encourage you to look at. What are your values and why they're important to you? So they're really good, and that you've both spoke about there. Thank you so much for that. But empathy, yeah, it's putting yourself in other people's shoes and feeling how they would feel. Not an easy one to do. I definitely not, but that's a brilliant one to think of. Thank you for that. So basically, the core values are what are most important to us. So these are the values that have been established, resulting from many factors, such as our upbringing, parents, media, various life choices and experiences, and they come from our heart, and they really reflect who we are as a person. They're our ideal image of how things should be. They define who we are and help us with our daily decision making. And a guy that I researched as part of my my studies when I was looking at values, Steve Lake, he tells us that our core values are stable, indispensable, resistant and unchangeable. Your core values are highly esteemed, greatly respected and deeply treasured. And the links that I've used for this presentation, like you say, you're going to get them in your resources later on. So that's your core values. So why is it important for us to know our values? And this is another guy, Dr. Ordesh Singh, that I researched. I should say that this presentation is based on values on an assignment I did for my coaching diploma. And it's actually going to be part of a book that I'll be putting together about what is coaching. There's this and there's goal setting, there's self-esteem, and maybe we'll do those another day. But so this is Ordesh Singh. So why do we need to know our values? It's much easier to float through life and go with the flow, losing sight of our values along the way. And it's much harder to live by our values. Yet how else will we know if we're living in our best life or going in the direction right for us if we don't know what we really stand for? Personal values are also important for personal development because they help you make intelligent decisions that are going to work in your favour by playing into your strengths, your wants and needs. And things that you were mentioning there, Lily, and you, Catherine, you know, these are things that are really personal to you and they mean something to you. So we need to know our values so we can improve the best results in the most critical areas of our lives. They keep us moving forward, being true to who we are. Hence the name of my company, as Patrick said, Be True to You. It's all about being authentic and being true to who you are. So learning not to only understand our values, but live by them every day. So knowing your own values gives you an insight into how you think and how you measure and define your successes and failures. They help you set better goals, which are easier achieved when they're intrinsic to who you are. So how will you know when you're living within your own values? We've already mentioned a couple of things there. And again, just to shout out, Lily, you told me, you know, about your family values. Your face lit up. You could see quite evidently, you know, that was an important value for you. So how did you feel when you were talking about that value?
I feel very connected, very like inside me. But I also know like it's very connected to if I productive with my thing, I will be a better person, like treating my daughter, like achieved more, like a better mood, for me. So it's really the balance, isn't it? Have to be like a good person, like achieve certain things what I like to is have to do what I love, like qigong, for example. I feel if I do some qigong, writing message, if setting off, that would be I'll be feel much better. Everything I'll be more aware. Like I have to everything to do. Yeah, but family, chill my like career have to be good, and then I feel I'll be better mom.
And your face when you're talking, that's amazing. What lovely words. Better connected, balanced, happy, in a better mood. That's absolutely brilliant. And these are absolutely some of the ways that we know that we're living within our values. This is how we feel. Anybody else? How do they feel when they think about living within their own values?
If I may, for me, is like, for instance, at the moment with my job choices, I could take any other sales corporate job right now for really good money. But the question is, can I sustain it? Am I happy? Is it true to me? Is it me? Is it no? Etc. etc. The answers are no. So the only option at the moment to be true to my own values is to take a risk and make it work what is really sustainable, making me happy, creating a better space for everybody else, because with my own improvement, I can improve everybody else's life around me. Thus, living to your core values. By improving yourself, you're improving the value of everybody else's around you.
Absolutely, absolutely, really powerful stuff, Lucy. And you've got a good point there, because sometimes living within our values, it can be difficult and it can be challenging, and it is. But it's great. You obviously know what your values are, and you know how important they are to you, and you know the effects of not living within your values, which is really important too. That's a really good one. Thank you so much for that. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'd just like to share that. It was really powerful, and I completely resonate with it, because I see having our core values, or my core values, aligned in the job I'm doing and in my life as linked to happiness. When you're not living one of your values, well, when I'm not living one of my values, I know it. I've learned to know it. It just, like in the corporate role, certain things I do, I really don't like them. And I know it now, it's because they're not aligned to my values. And when you do something aligned to your values, coaching, for me, using NLP with people to enhance their lives, it just feels natural. That's what I'd like to share. When you, and I'm working on this more and more, but I believe when you align to more values, you feel like it's just totally natural. Yeah. That's a great word, Steve. I love that. And you know what? That fits in with you and your business too, because it's about being your authentic self, isn't it? And I know you and I connect with that. I mean, being authentic, being true to yourself, living within your values, they're all kind of woven in, and they're really pivotal, aren't they? And I know how important they are for you as well, Steve. But that's a great example too. Thanks for sharing that. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Come on, give it a go.
Why not? Well, I'm actually a recovering people pleaser. And I spent a majority of my life thinking that making other people happy, regardless of my own wants, needs, values, if you will, was, I thought it was making me happy. It wasn't. It was a false sense that I was getting, because the feedback I was getting from others seemed a positive one, but I always felt empty. And I suppose, to be honest with you, this kind of links in with what everyone else has said, isn't it, really? You do feel there's a void. You're not fulfilling something. You're missing something, you're almost living a lie. So Absolutely. I think, to be honest with you, becoming my authentic self means that I have to address my core values and I have to act on it and I have to learn to say no. That's the biggest word for everybody, is saying no. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got, to be honest with you. I just wanted to get involved.
And that's really relevant too, because again, you mentioned those words. It's about your authentic self. It's about your values. It's about what feels right for you, and that's exactly everything that that values are about. So you've all mentioned things like, you know, your self-awareness increases, your life's more worthwhile, it feels more complete. You want to live within your values, you know, as you're starting to live the life that you love, you experience a lot of joy, happiness, you know, and just that lovely feeling of connection. And you know what you're doing, you know that you're doing what you need to do, and what you're meant to be doing. People living within your values as well, you know, you're a bit more accepting and welcoming of transition. I know, sorry, I can't see the name, see it again. It was Lucy? You know, you're just talking about the fear of change, but you know that really that's the right change for you. So you've got that courage, you know, you're able to confront your fear, you're able to kind of, you know, like I say, welcome that transition and welcome the move, because you know, really, it's not an option not to do it, because, you know, you're going to be living out with your values as you are now. And obviously, you know, you're able to recognize, you know, how that's not serving you too well just now. That's absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for your input there. With this one, I might need to, we were going to do a little bit more interaction there, but we've got quite a bit to go and I'm just conscious of time. So this was going to be the whiteboard. So if anybody's a quick trigger finger and wants to have a write on here, or we can just shout out. But I just wanted to go for it. He's the competitive among us. Or if somebody wants to, you know, write on the board while you just shout out. So it was really, I'm just going to be really clever as well. I'm just going to try line random. Oh, who's written over my line there? Catherine, cool, right. I'm going to just put that.
By the way, the last one was expected, just in case nobody guessed.
That's brilliant.
Really try.
That's really good. Treat others as you would expect to be. So it's, what are your own personal values and why are they important to you? Some of you have already kind of spoke about them, but it was just a couple of minutes to get you to think about them, and why they were important.
I've got a one for you, Linda. There is one massive and extremely powerful word called gratitude.
Oh, love it, Lucy. Yep.
Every time you hate something, find one thing every day you appreciate about it. Change your mind frame.
Absolutely love that. Love that. And how do you manage to do that, Lucy? Because sometimes it's easier said than done, isn't it?
Yes, so right now I am kind of forcing myself still. I mean, I'm doing loads of meditation. I'm a Reiki master as well, so it is natural for me to meditate and embrace what's happening. But I am actually doing an effort every morning to write at least one thing every day what I am grateful for.
Great.
Now, we're going to change nowadays is scary. So to pinpoint minuscule little things is extremely important to build up the foundation.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I think what you talked about there is just what we were saying in that previous slide too. Really, you know, to be living out with your values, it really isn't a good enough payoff. So the reason that that's important to you is because that gives you the drive, it gives you the ambition, it gives you the positivity to get on with your life and kind of make each day count, make each moment count, and move towards your goals and the things you want to do. And gratitude is a really great one, Lucy. Thanks for bringing that one up, because I actually didn't have that one down, but yeah, it's brilliant. That's, yep. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes. I add on something about gratitude.
Yep.
Yeah. Gratitude, like one, Lucy's right, one is normally won't bring you up enough. You know, you like, for example, I write at least 3, even 3 sometimes not depend where we are at that time. You writing until you feel good enough, right? Then you see like you have better idea, will be you go higher. Then you
exactly.
The gratitude is put us in such a good mood, good idea, everything from there born, you know, like that. I actually how I do before I jump off the bed in the morning, I see like lots of thank yous, something like that.
Yes.
Like counting blessings, like
Yes.
setting up the days so positively. Yeah, you try to use gratitude effectively by saying like 100 times, say thank you, everything you do, thank you feet where you move, yeah, whatever you touch, it just feel like uplifting, really good feeling. Gratitude is really great too to use well if you try to use that, yeah.
Absolutely, it's working with your energy and just raising that consciously, mindfully, making that choice of deciding this is a positive outcome instead of being a victim of the fear, because fear is that what we don't know. That's what we are scared of.
Absolutely, absolutely. These are brilliant. I'm just going to put these in, and what I'll maybe need to do is when we send the slide out, you can maybe just fill them in why they're important to you. We've had a little bit of chat about that. It's just that I'm conscious about the time. So that's absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing those. Let's just move on to the next slide. There we go. So again, just to talk a little bit about what happens when we live out with our values. So as we can see in this picture, I'm very creative. I could have put millions of pictures in there because there's so many things, but I just chose a few, and I'm sure you can relate to some of these as well. So as you can see in the picture, people become disconnected, demotivated, and when they lose touch with their own values, they become bored, fatigued, very quickly lose direction. People can end up drifting through life, lowering their self-esteem and expectations, and indeed making wrong decisions and mixing with the wrong people in the wrong environments, which again can make them feel worse as they wonder why. I can certainly resonate with that. And I know, you know, Steve, what you were saying, and was it Lucy? Sorry, I can't see it. It is Lucy, isn't it? Yeah, Lucy, just about the corporate role, working in a place that, you know, it's totally against your values, wrong environment, wrong people. So basically, when we're living out of sync with our values, we know something doesn't feel right or something feels wrong, but sometimes we don't always know why. We've usually lost our way and we've got a need to feel connected to what really matters. So values determine the actions that we take and what we feel we should do. Knowing our values supports us to risk assess and consider the positive and negative effects of the options available to us, helping us to consider the risks needed to take to make changes and consider if they are worth it. Once we understand what is important to us, we can then focus on what we need, what changes we need to make, help us become unstuck and move forward with purpose. If you're struggling to live your values, you likely have a conflict between living your values and getting your needs met. The way forward is the question. Learn how to get your needs met in new ways that don't conflict with your values. And that was another quote, and I'll send that as part of the resources. So just before we kind of go towards the end and have a quick look at your own values, I just wanted to put in here about how values fit in with the OneSource personal development system of focus, purpose, and balance. I'm sure you can all resonate to that because you're all part of OneSource anyway and you're used to using the system. So for me, I just wanted to highlight how I felt values fit into the system. When you look at the 4 key areas that we focus on, for instance, we've got relationships, health, personal growth, and finances. Then we've got the 4 subcategories that we add under each of these. So they're all really encompassing our own personal rules, which we set and help us find our own identity. And they're all highly influenced by values. So each time we're setting those subcategories, it's all based on what makes us feel good, what we need to do, how we want to move forward, and they're all driven by our values. They give us clarity and motivation to take those small, consistent actions needed to keep us moving forward every day. When you think about purpose, I love purpose. I love my major definite purpose. It's one of the best things I've ever done, one of the most meaningful things. You know, values are linked into our belief systems and define our goal setting, which gives us purpose. They give us a reason to get up every day and do the things we do, moving either towards pleasure or trying to move away from pain. And when you think of our major definite purpose and the things that we record in it, I won't ask you who remembers the headings, but you know, my major definite purpose is to. The reason I choose to live this lifestyle is because. I also know that living this lifestyle on a constant basis will. Think about the headings that you've got in your own major definite purpose. Think about where they came from. Think about their importance. Think about what life is like on the days you don't get your wee star and you haven't managed them, how you feel, how you get back in the game, you know, when things maybe go a little bit wrong. All of these things are values driven. So we've talked about what happens when we live out with our values. We lose focus and direction, and we're not really sure of our purpose. So we can become disconnected and out of sync. This can lead to an imbalance in our emotional and mental and physical health. So balance is part of the one source system. Balance is about measuring how we define our success and failures and deciding when we've achieved the right balance or not. To create balance, we need awareness and understand the importance of getting back on track and continue to do the things we know are right for us, that makes us feel good, connected and content. All of those things that you've kind of all highlighted through the brief discussions that we've had. So really just to end off a little bit is just to have a look, because I know that this is not like me, that I'm going over time a little bit, so it might be just 5 minutes if you can bear with me, guys. So what I wanted to do was look at a values elicitation exercise. So hopefully the screen is shared. Can you see that?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
I'm going to send this out in the resources because this is the values elicitation that I use as part of my coaching process. And it's part of my intake session kind of booklet that I've just put together. I'm going to give you a wee whistle stop tour and I'm going to send this out to you, but you can all contact me if you want to go through it a bit more in depth. I'll be happy to go through that with you and explain it to you, no problem at all. So the idea is to help you to find your own value. Sean, you're smiling away, you're probably aware of this. And you
Yeah, no, I was going to, no, yeah.
I've got a link as well to another one to I think it was from Psychologist Today, one of the links I used as the resources, and they've got an even more basic one. And I know, Angie, you'll be familiar with this too, because Angie was part of the training with Noble Manhattan, who I kind of got this from. So the idea is quite simplistic, and it's even good for people like me who's not good with numbers. It doesn't look as complicated as you think, I can promise. So it's a little bit of brainstorming, and the idea is really that you make a note of all your values. So sit and think, what's my value? What's a value? What's a value? What's a value? We've got 8 here, but you could make it 10, 12, what have you. So you'll spend time just taking your value, okay? So that's the first values. And then once you get all your list, then you look here. So say this one was empathy, this one was, I don't know, compassion. So you're going to ask yourself, is number 1, is that more important to me than number 2? And then you get to number 2, is number 2 more important than number 3? And you circle whichever the one is the most important. So the idea is you'll get to the grid here and you will then write down how many times number 1 was important. Sorry, I think I explained that wrong. Is 1 more important than 2? Is 1 more important than 3? Is 1 more important to 4? Is 1 more important to 5? Then you do it all the way down, apologies. So you'll just add in there how many you've got of each. And then that will kind of give you a value number. So that will let you know which ones you are the most important. So then you can start writing them in hierarchical order. So you'll put down which was the most there. And then this will give you a greater understanding of what's the most important values to you. Sometimes, you know, people will come to coaching especially, and they'll come, we see this a lot, I've certainly seen it a lot in my experience, they'll come with one issue, but actually when they start looking at their values, it's actually something totally different and it's a little bit deeper. So just by knowing your values, as you guys have said, you know, in the session today, can help you understand where the problems are, and then maybe think about where you need to go with them. The idea is with this as well, you can also do this, you can do it for career, you can do it for health, significant others, you can do it for development, and you can do it in each kind of area in your life. So you can have an overall list of your values, or you can have just an individual list for each area. So I know that's been a little bit of a whistle stop kind of tour with that one, but I just wanted to go through that with you. So hopefully we're back on the PowerPoint presentation.
Yep.
Yep, perfect. That's fantastic. So really, that's just kind of coming towards the end-ish. We will be a little bit few minutes over because I want you to speak again before we finish up. So just to review the objectives. So hopefully we've discussed what values are and where they come from. We've had a little bit of time to look at your own values, how they link in with your life and the one source system. And the values elicitation was about creating your own vision to add to your personal development plan. So basically, if you need some more time with me to go through that, happy to do that, not a problem at all. You can contact me. I'd be delighted to do that with you. And before we go, what I would just like to ask is if maybe for a minute or so, if you could maybe just let me know what it is you've learned or enjoyed just about today's session. It doesn't have to be anything heavy, whatever you feel, I'm happy to hear it. So I'll maybe work down everybody that's in front of me and then we all get a say. Sean, what have you learned or enjoyed about today?
I love the interaction of the actual session itself. Actually,
Good.
Bringing people out and involving them in the whole process. I think that was great. Well done on that.
Oh, thank you. Good. I'm pleased you've enjoyed that. That's great. I mean, the topic, it's very basic. I could go so much deeper and do so much more, but you know, in an hour, there's only
I know, but we don't have 3 days, Linda. I'm sorry.
I mean, could we not just let's all open some wine and we'll carry on for another hour or two? No, I totally get that. That's fine. But thanks so much for that, Sean.
Well done. It's brilliant. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thank you. Because I know that was different. Patrick.
What did I learn today? I tell you, well, look, I really enjoyed it. It was amazing. You did a great job, Linda. Well done. What I probably learned the most is that I really enjoy being on this side. It was really just great to actually watch because, as you guys know, usually I'm the one doing the presenting most of the time, not always, most of the time. But it's really good just to just to sit on this side and actually watch, somebody else present and take in, basically the knowledge that they have. And there's a lot that you covered there today, which was great. And just the interaction, as Sean said as well. I think that was really good just to see everybody kind of engaging with each other. So yeah, no, it was fantastic, Linda. Exceptional.
Oh, thank you. That's good. I'm pleased you've enjoyed that. That's great. Who's next here then? We've got, is it Lily?
Okay, yeah. For me, like I now give me an idea, like I better print out my value number, yeah, that I put in front of me. So be aware, otherwise get like frustrated, isn't it, away from value. Yeah, try to be closer by, try to be more aware of my value like that.
Yeah, fantastic. That's great. And from what you've said, it sounds like you're already most of the way there anyway. It seems like you're really in tune with who you are and what you're about and what your important values are. But that's great. If you're going to use the values elicitation, just help you just look at them a little bit more. Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much for that. That's brilliant. Catherine Medea, time to wake up.
I'm here. I am here. Sorry, because I'm not part of the the spectacle.
I'll take mine off now.
We'll need to make everybody some spectacles.
so yeah, no pressure whatsoever. I'm with Sean on this one. I quite enjoyed the interactive part of it, but I must admit some of the feedback that we've had from who was the person who said gratitude? Do you know what that really got my cogs turning? Thanks, Lucy, was it?
Yeah. Lucy and Lily.
Thanks, Lucy. You've actually got my cogs turning, and yeah, it's going to be a busy night. I'm going to have to process this, but no, thank you, because I do agree that word gratitude is something that is easily forgotten in a very critical world. So thank you.
Perfect. Thank you for that. And that's brilliant. That's a really good point. That's the whole point, learning from everybody. I haven't really got anything to teach you that you don't already know. The whole idea was really just to kind of bring some things to light and interact with each other. Because like you said, there's a lot of expertise in the room here. So that's just brilliant. So thanks for highlighting that, Catherine. That's brilliant. Thank you. Lucy.
Well, it's more about how you're keeping all of the interaction going than the interaction by itself. I think it's amazing that you can pick brains of so many people with completely different expertise, being so happy to join in. And that's something which is a massive compliment to yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Job. And frankly, I would like to pick your brains later on because there's so many points I would love to use in my corporate coaching. So if you don't mind contacting me later on,
Perfect.
Thank
I
you.
would love to, Lucy. Thank you so much. What I'll do is, if it's okay, Patrick will send out my details to everybody. So if you
I
just
will.
touch base with me, that would be brilliant. Absolutely, absolutely. But we'll get together. But thank you so much for your interaction and for your input today. Been really much appreciated. Thank you. I look forward to catching up and talking more. Thanks.
Yeah, I really am.
Good. Perfect. Me too. Angie.
And I think tonight I've learned that I'm kind of not on my own with kind of understanding how
Like that.
valuable values are. Because going back about 3 years ago, I was really unhappy in my job. And I just could not work out why. I was working for a charity. There was nothing wrong with what we were doing, but I just wasn't fulfilled and I wasn't enjoying it. And I didn't know why. But then I actually went for coaching, did a values elicitation, realised there was values there that I didn't ever dream were values because I had no idea what they were, and decided just to change everything. So I did, and left my job. Obviously, I've now started down this route, and I've never been happier. But I have sat there and kind of wondered, is it just me? But I get the feeling that I'm with 9 other people tonight that along the way somewhere have discovered what values are, what their values are, and use that to make change. Good change.
Perfect. That's great, Angie. Fantastic. I'm sure you probably, when I was getting the elicitation wrong a little bit, you were probably sitting there rolling your eyes. I was just conscious of the time, but thanks for sharing that. No, that's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's good to know, that you don't feel so alone, and there's other people to be able to interact with as well and share the same thing. So thanks, Angie. That's great. Nicolene.
Yeah, really good evening. Thank you, Linda. I did a similar exercise about a year ago through one of those success journals, and that was really useful then. But now I'm doing it again with you. I realized how much I've learned since I've joined OneSource, and realizing that actually it's about the harmony between those 4 core values that basically creates that balance and that happiness. So for me, I've really come to realize that it is the relationships and health and personal growth and the finance that need to be in harmony, and those are my core values. That's what needs to work, and that's what really has made me feel way more happier now than I was before I joined. Definitely.
Fantastic.
So,
Fantastic. Thanks, Nicolene. And that's great. Yeah, you've put that really succinctly, just about the values and fitting in with the system. So thanks for that. That's brilliant. Great. I know, Patrick, you're rolling eyes because we'll be going over a little bit, but I think it's important just to see.
No, absolutely. By all means. No, work away.
I haven't got your picture on. I don't
When he goes like this, then you know he's asleep.
We've got Nadine and we've got Steve left. Let's go for Nadine.
No, this is fantastic.
Nadine.
Okay, I think your presentation was amazing. It was really, really engaging. It was really good. There was not a boring bit at all. It was like, tell me more, tell me more, tell me more.
Oh,
So it's
thank
really
you.
good. And I've also learned a bit about everybody on the OneSource on this program, and everybody is really lovely, and we're all from different places, and I really feel like we can learn from each other, which is really, really nice for me. I think from this, somebody said about being really authentically me, and that's really like resonated, and I have written that quite big on my notebook in front of me. So I feel like I want to go back over my values and my life and sort of think, is this really me? But I know a lot of it isn't, and I've kind of taken a lot of inspiration from, those of you that are changing your jobs, made the jump from the corporate world. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. That is great to hear, Nadine, and thanks everyone, for thanking me. That's lovely. It was to find out really just what you've learned too, which is brilliant, and that's great. We've been able to share all of those things. And on the note of authenticity, the king of authenticity himself, we've got last is Steve. What have you enjoyed about today, Steve? Thanks for that, Nadine.
Yeah, no, thank you, Linda. I really love the engagement and interaction, and how effortlessly well you facilitated the fantastically prepared presentation. So thank you very much, Linda.
Thank you.
to me today re-emphasized just how important being in alignment with core values are, for me, to my happiness and fulfillment and purpose in life. And they're so key to expressing your authentic self, and really helps me as well. Some have said it, that it's not just me who feels like this, and it really helps to know I'm not alone, and it's a real motivator to continue my own journey and mix with like-minded people. And I'll be in contact more about the values elicitation exercise. So thank you very much, Linda.
Perfect. Oh, thank you so much. I think is that everybody? I've not missed anybody out. I think that was everybody that's had the opportunity. Thanks very much. So I know I'm the worst at timekeeping, but I think it's been really valuable just to kind of hear from everybody.
Right.
Thanks so much for your feedback. And as I've said, I'll get Patrick to send my details, the resources, the elicitation in the email. So thank you. And more importantly, thank you for turning up and for participating. Your contributions have been really valuable. Thank you so much.
Well
There you
done.
are, Patrick.
Absolutely. You rocked it.
You're fab.
See everybody soon. All the best. Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone.
Everybody have a
everyone.
good evening.
Bye.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.